Treating mold is expensive, but preventing it is less costly. So in this video, we're going to explain to you why your first line of defense against mold should be the Testo SmartProbe Mold Kit. Hello, I'm Jess, and today I'm joined by Testo's product manager, John Borden. Hello, welcome. You're here to talk to us today about the Testo SmartProbe Mold Kit. You're going to be running through its features and explaining exactly why it's such an effective frontline defense against mold.
Absolutely.
So if you want to know how this simple kit can be used to prevent mold outbreaks, ensure healthy living conditions, and keep you on the correct side of the law, please watch to the end. As I mentioned, you're here to talk to us about the Testo SmartProbe Mold Kit. So what exactly is included in this kit?
Okay, so what we have from the Testo SmartProbe Mold Kit is two devices from the Testo range. They're products from our SmartProbe portfolio. We have first a Testo 805i, which is a infrared thermometer. And then we also have a Testo 605i, which is a thermohygrometer. So this is a device that's measuring air temperature and air humidity. And this is a device that is measuring surface temperature.
And to whom would you recommend the Testo SmartProbe Mold Kit?
Okay, so this kit is really designed for anybody who's involved in having to do some form of assessment of properties from a mold risk. The key to this is mold will form if you have surfaces that are moist or wet. That's its perfect sort of breeding ground for mold. Yeah. And with this kit, it enables you to assess the levels of surface moisture. So the kit itself is not actually seeing mold or the causes of the cause of mold. It's directly related to surface moisture risk, and that's how this kit will help. So anybody really, building surveyors, anybody who's looking after properties, could be companies involved in landlords, we've got housing stocks. It's anybody who really got a building where they need to actually have some sort of assessment for surface moisture.
So before we talk about these specific probes, it might be helpful if you explain to us a bit about the Testo SmartProbe range and the concept behind it. What makes them so smart?
Okay, so smart probes, in a nutshell, very simple devices. You can see from the design they don't have a typical look to a product where it has a built-in display. These devices don't have any display because your smartphone or tablet becomes a display. So the whole concept behind smart probes was to offer very cost-effective measurement devices simply that talk to a tablet or smartphone, and we have the benefit of obviously having the fantastic screen we have available. Then you can look at information in both numerical form, we can actually go into the information, look at it in graphical form, and also a table form as well. So you get to see the data in many, many different ways, which is a real advantage over a traditional instrument. The other big benefit for the smart probes is once we have the information in the SmartProbe app, you can actually digitally report on these figures. So rather than having to have written down readings, all this data is stored digitally. You can then put it into a very, very comprehensive report that can be emailed to a client or customer.
Streamlined.
Yes.
Efficient.
Working smart.
Yeah. Is it for Android and iOS?
Yeah, the app is a free app and it runs on both an Android or iOS platform, and it can work on a phone or a tablet.
The smart probes included in the mold kit are the Testo 605i thermohygrometer and the Testo 805i IR thermometer.
Correct.
Yep. Why these two?
Okay, so what we have here, you need this combination to basically get the measurements we want for surface moisture. So we have the Testo 605i, which is giving us this measurement of air temperature and air humidity. And then the Testo 805i, the infrared thermometer, that's giving us the measurement of surface temperature. What then happens is within the app, you can combine those two readings. So the app is, if you like, doing the maths and the fancy calculation. But what we're able to do is if we know the air temperature and air humidity, we can also then measure the surface temperature, and from that a relationship can be formed looking at dew point and effectively looking at the moisture potential on the surface. What you're effectively looking at with these is combining two measurements very, very smartly inside the app.
And could you just explain to us what dew point is, please?
Yeah, not a problem. So if we look at the instrument here at the moment, this one device is actually giving us 5 readings. The key ones for us are air temperature, relative humidity, which is the amount of moisture or water content in the air at this time, and then this dew point temperature. Dew point is actually telling us the temperature at what point condensation will form. So, for example, in the room at the moment, we can see we have 21 degrees. But if the water temperature is 12.1 degrees, we will get condensation form. So this is the point, and that's what's called dew point. It's the point that condensation starts to drop out of the air onto a cold surface.
Great. And what about wet bulb temperature?
Wet bulb temperature is something that's more used by air conditioning engineers. Wet bulb temperature is actually telling you the minimum temperature that the air will give up evaporation or water content into. It's not typically used within the measurement of surface moisture, but it's one of the other measurements the device can give. It can also give, for example, absolute humidity, which tend to be used by companies who are doing drying. So if they've had a house that's been badly flooded or there's water damage remediation, they will often use absolute humidity as a measurement rather than a relative. But what we have here is 5 measurements coming from one device.
Thank you, John. Thank you for your time. That was very informative. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe and share this video with anyone you think it might help. It really does help us grow and reach new people. As ever, if we did miss anything, please leave your questions in the comments. Alternatively, you can contact a member of our sales team. If you're particularly concerned with addressing building problems such as damp and mold, please do look out for our other videos with John, in which we'll be talking about other Testo products that can help with this, such as the Testo 417 anemometer. You can watch that video now. Either click the link in the description or the link that should appear on screen. In the meantime, you can find links to the Testo Smart Probe Mold Kit in the description or on our website, where you can find information about all Testo's products, www.testo.co.uk.